Good morning. How are you all doing today, this Monday morning? Today is Monday. Yesterday was Sunday. Yesterday was Mother's Day. But today is the day governed by the moon, and the moon rules the mother. In astrology, we often will say, look at the moon to see your relationship with your mother. And it's an interesting thing because the internal reality, how we relate to ourselves internally, is influenced from our relationship to our mothers, and then how we act and behave out in the world is influenced by our relationship to our fathers. How we express ourselves is our son, the father. How we feel is the moon, the mother. And today is governed by the moon. Today is Monday. And one of the things that I have discovered in my work with the moon and following the moon, because the moon governs the psyche, our psyche, which is our subconscious, the stuff that we don't know about ourselves. And if traditional cultures and religions talk about how the lineage is passed down through the mother, through the psyche, and we repeat the cycles of our mothers. Over and over and over again until we catch it and we don't. But the thing that the moon does, because it governs the psyche, the water, children are, when they grow in our wombs, they're breathing water. Children are born on full moons, because that is when we release. It's, all of our bodies, our ovulation, all of that regulated by the moon. All of it is regulated by the moon. And it's the power that connects us to all things. So one of the reasons I share with you guys, because Spirit told me to share, first of all, but also so that we can understand what it means to be a multidimensional human being. Sorry. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. So, to be a multidimensional being or a cosmic being, and what that means is living your life connected to everything, knowing that everything here is alive, everything here is listening to you, the trees, the creatures, the animals, all of this is in service to you. All of this is here to help you really live who you're supposed to be. The current system that we've been living in, this Western world, is one that oppresses our natural ways of being. It oppresses our intuition, or suppresses it. It suppresses our intuition. It suppresses our psychic abilities. It suppresses our internal knowing, because we don't develop it. We don't grow up listening to ourselves and talking to trees and talking to animals and using the plants in the way that they're meant to be used. We're not doing that any longer. So our gifts and potentials and abilities to commune and be here as gods, gods and goddesses, has been suppressed. But just because it's suppressed doesn't mean it's too late. It's just inside of you. And all you need to do is begin to do the work to awaken it and trust and move into it in a way that's much more aligned with yourself. So yesterday, for instance, I go every day and talk to the trees, these eucalyptus trees that are in my neighborhood. They are incredible. I mean, it's just, they're beautiful, what I've discovered about eucalyptus trees. And then I get their leaves and I burn their leaves in my house every day so that I really embody the wisdom. And then I'm also praying for my community, my neighborhood, the children in my neighborhood. And I know that I am impacting the environment. And it's gotten to the point where I can ask, because the electromagnetic field is around us, listening to us, I can ask for something, and by days and moments sometime, it will show up. So yesterday, I went to the park and I wanted to see how my energy was working. And there were these two young men playing basketball. And so I said to Spirit, okay, I'm going to set an intention that one of the young men was a black man, the other one was Asian, some sort of Asian man. I don't know exactly what it was. I don't know exactly if he was Korean or Chinese or any of that, but he appeared to be Asian. And so the black man, I sent him a signal and I said, I want you to come and talk to me after you are finished playing basketball. And so I just sat and waited. And then when they finished, he started looking at me. And I wasn't doing anything other than just sitting where I was sitting on the grass. And then he said, Happy Mother's Day. And I said, thank you very much. He said, I don't know if you're a mother or not, but Happy Mother's Day. And then I said, thank you. And so he talked to me, but he didn't come over and talk to me. So he hadn't really fulfilled what I had asked in consciousness for him to do. So I got up to leave, and then I noticed that he had been going the other way when he was leaving, but then he started walking behind me. And so he said to me, he said something, and I responded. And then I said, do you live in the neighborhood? And he said, yes, but I kept walking. And then, he said, yes, he lives in the neighborhood. And then I kept walking. And then as I was leaving, I heard him say, do you have a number? And so I turned around to go give him my number because he was then doing what I was asked. He was trying to communicate with me. So I went and I gave him my telephone number, and I was grateful. I was grateful that he fulfilled the request that I had sent in consciousness to him. And so I'm sharing this with you so that you can understand what happens when we become tapped in. And the only way that we're going to live now safely in this system is to be tapped in. There is no other way, because the current construct is absolutely coming undone. People are filled with fear and trauma and ego-based choices, and scarcity is on the rise, it appears. But that's just for people who are going to choose that. You don't have to choose that. You can live in alignment with nature, and you will be tapped in, and you will be safe everywhere you go. Like, I was out and I'm realizing that, there's this idea that we're in danger all the time. There's a boogeyman. There's something out to get us. And if you believe that, you will be subject to your beliefs. It's important that you be very mindful of who you are, what you're capable of, and understand the truth of that, and begin to cultivate your gifts and your talents and your energetic connection to the universe, to the electromagnetic field in your mind. You're already tapped in. But you have to align your thinking to understand how the system works so that you aren't aligning to lies, because that is what goes on here. If you follow nature, if you live with nature, if you understand the cycles of the moon and the rhythm of the sun and how it works, you will align yourself to that. And there are many things that I do to do that. I create an altar. I have an altar in my house at all times. I do rituals with my ancestors. I spend time each and every day with each planetary body that is going to assist me in whatever area that I'm working on in my life. I use herbal medicines, and I spend time with the trees, with the plants, with the butterflies and birds and all of that. And all of that is always informing me so that I am exactly where I'm supposed to be, with whom I'm supposed to be, doing what I'm supposed to be doing, having the experience that I'm supposed to be having, because I am tapped in from my crown chakra to my root chakra. It's almost as if I am this body. I see this body as a puppet to my higher self, and my higher self is directing me where to go and where to be and what to do. And I am teaching everyone how to do this work in the moon work, in the 13 moons initiation. I have, with Carl Stevens, developed a system that is rooted in ancient practices that will allow you to tap into who you're supposed to be, especially if you're a woman. One of the things that's so significant to understand, what I did yesterday in that relationship. As women, we are connected to source. We are the portals by which life comes in. So we are a channel to the divine at all times, whether we know it or not. We're getting signals. We're being directed. We're being spoken to. Our ancestors are leading us because we carry the matriarchal energy. And that is the imprint of this planet. That is the water. That is, we are the energetic beings that bring forth life. And so if we connect ourselves intentionally in our minds, in our thinking, to the cycles of the moon, understand the phases of the moon, what's going on in your own reality. And you don't need me to teach you this. I can do it because I'm pretty masterful at it, but you can do it on your own. Because if you go to the moon or you go to the earth with sincerity and you ask, how can I do this? Show me how. You will be guided and directed. One of the things that blocks us as women is that we have been functioning in our masculine energy, which is about getting and having success in the outside world. And we think that our success comes from the way that masculine success comes, but it does not. Our success is spiritual and internal and unseen. Our power is unseen. So the way that I could send that signal to that man, I sent him an unseen internal signal, and then he responded in the physical world reality. And so the work that I teach helps you understand how this actually functions on a day-to-day basis so that you can wake up and be who you're here to be. It's so significant. Expect women, those of us who are mothers, like I said, the moon governs mothers, for us to understand the energies and the power of motherhood, whether you are a mother or not. The system lives in your body, in your womb. You're ovulating and bleeding, every month, and doing that every 2 weeks. You are running the cycle of the moon in your body. And so if you tap into this, it will regulate women who are having a hard time getting pregnant, it will help with that. Women who have painful cycles, it will help with that. Women who have irregular moon cycles, it will help with that. I'm telling you, this is the only way to do it. And it's the easiest way to do it. And the Western world will have none of it. But you will be able to navigate yourself outside of the chaos and confusion that's about to up level and become even more insane in this culture. So I implore you to tap into yourself, because we are about to live in another paradigm that we have not seen before. And the only way to be safe and secure doing it is by going within. The only way you can find safety and security is inside of yourself. So I encourage you to begin to do the work. And if you are interested, the Venus retrograde happens this week, Saturn retrograde happens this week, and something else. Pluto's already in retrograde, and maybe Jupiter retrograde. If you're interested in getting a reading and learning how to use these energies to help you go within, please reach out to me. I am the Moon Mama. The new moon cycle starts this week. If you want to join in for the Gemini moon cycle, we're going to be reframing our life patterns, our mental patterns. This is the week to join this class. It is going to be incredible. It's $20.20 for the first week. The Venus retrograde class is $21. So I have 2 classes that are going to be running this week. So I encourage you to join both of them or one of them. Peace and blessings. I'm the Moon Mama. Happy belated Mother's Day and happy Monday. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.